Hey guys, what's up? Brent Calmer from Blue Water VST. I wanted to give you a brief rundown on Native Instruments' new additive synthesizer, which is called Razor. It works inside the Reaktor platform and was developed by Native Instruments in conjunction with a Berlin-based sound designer named Aerosmith. It is a very, very interesting instrument and very deep. And with snapshots with names like Punch in the Balls, it's really no secret that this synth is aimed at producers who need a lot of low-end firepower in their productions, whether that's dubstep, drum and bass, garage, grime, whatever it is. This thing is just jam-packed full of snapshots that, you know, if you play your cards right, will probably get you kicked out of your apartment. But a brief word on what makes this a little bit different. Let's take a brief detour. So what makes Razor different? Well, if you're like me, most of your experience in synthesis is with subtractive synthesis, which I have depicted here in painstaking detail. Here you have your waves, whether triangle, square, or sawtooth. And from those waves and from that sound, we subtract things. So, for example, we pass it through a low-pass filter, and then on through an amplitude envelope, and out to our output. It's basically a process of taking a sound, subtracting things until we have the sound we want. Additive synthesis, by contrast, is basically the exact opposite. This is based on something that was discovered in the 18th or 19th centuries by a French mathematician who found that any periodic function can ultimately be broken down into sine waves. And by extension, for purposes of sound design, if you pile enough sine waves on top of one another, you can create essentially any wave you want. Now in this case, we have a sine wave, we add to it another sine wave at 3 times the frequency of the original, and we come up with a new wave. So you can imagine that if you have a whole bunch of sine waves, you really can come up with just about any timbre you want. So that's essentially the model that's at the heart of of Razor. So the wonderful thing about additive synthesis is that it offers us a level of clarity that is really extraordinary, a level of detail and a level of control that you would be hard pressed to find anywhere else. I'm going to play briefly this snapshot, which is called Night Wash. I will open and close the filter just so you get a sense of the detail and the precision that's involved here. And that's, of course, really just manipulating this low-pass filter. Now, all of these, I guess we really have 2 oscillators and 2 filter banks here, but you'll see that when you click on here, you have a variety of oscillator and filter types to play with. I'm not going to go into that because the manual actually does a very good job of explaining them. And I know that Torley has done his project preset to go through all of this stuff, so I won't attempt to do what he's done. And also I should mention that there's a really good tutorial, I think by Crystal Audio, on how to create a dubstep wobble from scratch using Razor. Speaking of dubstep wobbles, I've had my own attempt at this kind of lame dubstep groove, but you get a sense for the LFO possibilities here when you listen to this. Look down here, we see that we're automating the speed of the LFO. So, there you have it. This is a really exciting synthesizer. Again, if you work in genres like dubstep, drum and bass, grime, garage, glitch, anything that requires out there sounds, an extraordinarily clear sound, which is probably most genres, you definitely want to check this out. There are a lot worse ways to spend 79 bucks, and this is a very, very deep instrument. So again, thanks for joining me on this, guys, and please join me over at www.bluewatervst.com and enter your email address in the slide up that will pop up shortly after you visit there, and we will send you a download of Dan Worrell's Compassion compressor for Reaktor. It's a very sweet sounding compressor. It's a true stereo linear compressor. But thanks again for joining me. I hope you check out Razor, and I hope you guys have a good week. See ya.